Okay, so today we're going to do a weaving. And I have taken just a plain piece of colored paper, well, orange paper, and I've taken some of my markers and I've just played around by making some designs in it. You don't have to. You can use any kind of paper you want, and it can be, magazines work great. They're really lots of fun. So if you have some empty magazines or old magazines around your house, those are a great product for using and creating art. But I'm just playing around here a little bit. Now, once I've done that and I've made my design, whatever design you wish for it to be, that's entirely up to you. Again, you remember, you're the artist. I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to fold it in half, like so. Gotta be careful. And then you cut from the folded side up to, but not all the way off the paper. You could even give yourself a little bit of a line, drawing a line, so that you stop yourself before you get to the edge, because that's really, really, really important. Or, if you want to get real fancy schmancy, you can cut yourself a cool little shape. That's okay too. But we're going to do this simply so that kids can follow at home. And you're just going to kind of cut a line straight up to that line. Try to make your lines about the same size. One way to do that is to use a ruler and to measure each space like that if you wanted to. So you could do that, but for the sake of time, I'm not going to do that. And it doesn't have to be that way. So you see, we've got a little skirt going there. Now we're going to open it up. Oh, no, la la. We've got these slats. Okay, now normally when we're at school, I have pre-cut your weaving paper for you, especially you younger grades. I turn this over upside down so it's not going to drive you quite as crazy. I'm going to take some paper and I'm just going to show you real quickly, just a couple pieces of paper, whatever color, and again, it can be white paper, it can be typewriter paper, it can be typewriter paper. Listen to me, I'm aging myself. It can be Xerox paper, it can be drawing paper, magazines, newspapers, whatever you want. But you're going to cut them into weaving pieces. Now, if you noticed, I took my papers like this and I folded them in half. You don't have to do that, but it's easier to cut a shorter piece straight than it is a longer piece. So we open those up. Because we probably have more pinks now than greens, we'll start with the pink. And weaving is all about over, under, over, under, over, under, and opposites. So you're going to start under, and then go over your next strip, and then under your strip, and then over your strip, and under your strip, and over your strip, and under your strip, like that. Slide it all the way, oops, slide it all the way across to the end. And again, boys and girls, you can use whatever colors you wish, and you can do this in any sequence, but oftentimes, especially if you're new to the game, it's easier if you just use two colors, because that way all my pinks are going to look the same and all my greens are going to look the same. And of course, to make it all the more complicated, the pinks are going to be opposite the greens. Opposite means it's very different. And so this one is under, this one starts over. So I go over, and then under, and over, and then under, and then over, and then under, and I weave and push it all the way to the end like that. Usually I would encourage you to put a little drop of glue on each start just to hold that in place so it doesn't slide on you later, but that's up to you. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the pink, and the pink started under my orange paper. I want my pink here to look just like this pink here, so I'm going to go under, and then over, and then under, and then over, and then under, and then over, and then under. See how that flipped? Okay, see? Look at that. We're going to play checkers. No, we're not going to play checkers, but you could. Okay, so now I go with my green. Over, Gotta get it under there. Over, under, come on, Mrs. Kaylee. Over, under, over, under, over, all the way over. Keep pushing them all the way over. I'll do one more so you can see what the idea is. But you're going to go all the way, well, I guess it's almost done, isn't it? All the way to the very end. Don't start with too big a piece of paper. Learn how to do this, and then you can really get creative. You don't have to do this with just paper. This weaving is actually all about cloth and materials and fabrics and lots of cool stuff. You can weave plastic bags. Have you ever? That's a very cool thing to do. Okay. But that's a little tricky. You need to learn this first. Under, over, under. And you know, if you wanted to get inventive and creative, you could also decorate and color your strips of paper. And they could be fancy schmancy too, just like the other part. So I'm pretty much done here, okay? And like I said, if we were at school, I'd encourage you to put little drops of glue on these, inside these flaps. But here's the magic. We wove it on the backwards part of the paper because it was easier. It's not so confusing. Now look. Oh, that's pretty cool looking, isn't it? That's really a nice beginning of a nice pattern and a nice design. And you could crop that, frame that. Once you glue it, you could trim it if you wanted to. You could do all kinds of things with this. Fold it up, give it as a card. There's lots of options. Okay, practice, have fun, experiment, see what happens, okay? You're all becoming wonderful artists, and that's great. Till next time, I'll see you later.